Hello, my friends. This is Brian, the speaker for the dead. Life of Brian. So, I just finished a TV series from Netflix called The Three Body Problem. Now, I've been seeing clips of this show on Facebook and YouTube and stuff, and just little snippets. And I apologize if I sound really nasally. I've got a cold, so that'll be fun for everybody to listen to. But I wanted to give you a quick review of this, non-spoiler if you haven't seen this show. But I'm going to tell you, go watch this show. If you like good science fiction, if you like murder mystery, if you like good entertainment, this is a good show. It's a really good show. A little slow in the beginning, but not really. I mean, it picks up pretty fast. You're going to recognize some of the actors in it. Wong from Doctor Strange, he's in it. I don't know a lot of these actors' names. I know characters that they've played. There's at least one Game of Thrones actor. The guy that was the main helper for the Baratheon that came after the king died, and he was trying to, he was with crazy red lady. I can't think of his name, but he had the son, and he gets killed on the ship when they try and invade King's Landing. You guys, if you know Game of Thrones at all, you know who I'm talking about. He's actually one of the best characters in that series, in my opinion, as far as, there's a lot of good acting that happened in that show, despite all the boobs hanging out and the penises and the nonsense that went on in that show that didn't need to be there. I will tell you that there's a lot of swearing in this show, a lot of F-bombs. This is supposed to be about a group, and it was the one thing I found really kind of sad and pathetic about the show. This show takes place basically around a group of really smart friends, they like physicists and industry people, and they were all friends at college, university, because a lot of this takes place in the UK and in China. The writer for this story originally was from China, apparently. I don't know all of the details and histories. I just watched the series, and I'm telling you, this is worth watching. If you like great entertainment, this is something that I can honestly say that I would recommend. Go watch this. I don't feel like there was any really political messaging going on other than, but it's very fair and balanced. I never felt like anybody was preaching anything. There's a reference to Silent Spring, which was a environmentalist novel that came out like in the 60s, I believe, that spawned a lot of what we think of as modern environmentalism. And because of that, and because of one of the characters in this, basically an alien race gets invited to Earth. And this alien race is headed to Earth and is trying to basically prep for an invasion. And they're trying to take out our scientists. But they were invited by this person who was inspired by Silent Spring. Which is a very anti-human, very, it's a horrible environmentalist book that spawned a lot of misconceptions, a lot of suffering, human suffering, all over the planet. Because it banned pesticides that actually worked, and it led to mass explosions in malaria and yellow fever and stuff like that, because the mosquito population wasn't being controlled like it once was. Anyway, so, but it shows how screwed up and narrow-minded human beings can be when they only see things from their perspective. I think that's the one thing I got out of this series more than anything else, is never look at anything just from your perspective. If you're saying I all the time, you're probably going to get it wrong. That you need to listen to other people. You need to be open to other ideas. This made me it made me feel reminiscent of how I would feel during the old Star Trek episodes, where you're conflicted because you're getting both sides of an argument, and you're having to make those moral judgments and calculations and try to figure out who's right in this and who's wrong in this. And they're not really giving you any clear judgments. They're just giving you information and making you choose, which I thought was fantastic. So I actually sat down and binged this whole thing over 2 days. A little bit last night, and then I finished it up today. It's not a huge amount of episodes. There is a season 2 coming, supposedly, so I'm really excited about that. I hope they keep this momentum going. I hope they keep the level of scientific realism going. The character-driven stories, really great. This interaction between this group of friends really sucks you in and makes you care about these characters. You see things from their perspectives, and you feel some of their conflict. You also sit there and go, you can identify with some of them at some times and not with them at other times. It is very reminiscent of real life. I feel like whoever the Chinese writers that were writing this really did a great job, and whoever adapted this from the books did a really great job kind of taking that in. Not trying to be preachy, not trying to tell everybody what the right answers are. There's a lot of ambiguous characters. There's a lot of like hard-nosed characters, and there's like I said, there's a couple characters that actually you will recognize from Game of Thrones. There's more than one. There's the kind of the chubby guy that was on the wall with Jon. And you'll have to forgive me for not remembering these characters and stuff. And like you know, I just come and do these videos off the fly because I want you to get the feel for what a conversation with me would be like after one of these shows, where you sit around and talk about, oh yeah, I know that guy, and he came from this show, and that guy came from this show, and everybody has to fill in the details as you're going along and stuff, and you're helping to fill in those gaps. So when you hear me, oh, it's this, and this guy, I hope in your brain you're like, oh, I know who he's talking about. It's that guy, and that's why I don't do these spit and polish videos like a lot of guys do, and have all these videos running in the background, and I'm putting up pictures. I used to do all that stuff, and I realized that it's not really worth it. It's not really worth it to get the message across that I want to get across. I want to have a conversation with you. I don't want to dazzle you. I don't want flashy lights, and I don't want you to pay attention to me because of the aesthetics of the video. I want you to watch a video of mine and listen to me because you're interested in the conversation. And if I can't keep your attention just from that, I'm probably not that good of a reviewer. Probably not really worth paying attention to. If I have to do all these distracting things and high production values, then I'm probably not that good at this. And my channel isn't huge, so maybe that everybody else in the world disagrees with me on that. I don't know. But I've struggled with finding good entertainment that I actually want to watch. I actually want to pay attention to it because it's not preaching liberalism or conservatism or whatever. I look for shows that just give you the real perspectives on life from multiple viewpoints. I don't want somebody preaching at me. I've never cared for the Christian films. Although I am a Christian, I hate how preachy they come off and how in your face. And I mean, it's just, it never feels authentic to me. And I hate that. I hate that about most Christian films. Some of them are okay that way because I go into it knowing what they're going to be doing. But some of them I'm like, okay, you're trying to show this in the real world and you're not really being true to what would be happening in the real world. And it's the same way on this other side. Like this group of friends, they're very intelligent people, physicists and scientists and captains of industry. And some of them I could see doing it. But the amount of F words that go on in this series, it's just like, okay, one, I don't think people who are extremely, extremely intelligent have such a limited vocabulary. And it really bothers me when they portray them as having that kind of a limited vocabulary. Effing, why don't you effing, bitch, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, really super intelligent people don't talk like that. Because I think they would be embarrassed. I mean, you don't expect a physicist to talk like a truck driver. You don't expect or to talk like a mechanic or whatever. I mean, they have a lot more vocabulary. They have a lot better way of saying things than F and this and shit and that and the bitch and this and ho and that. And I mean, it's just like that was the only part of this I felt that wasn't authentic. There should have been some of the characters that were doing that, but they have all of the characters effing in this and effing in that and effing. And it's just like, and it got to be so overloaded with it that it became distracting for me because I'm not a prude. I'm a truck driver. I've been around people that swear my whole life. I don't particularly care for swearing. I swear, and one of my biggest flaws is that I have the swearing problem. But if you talk like that all the time, I mean, when I hear people talk like that, I immediately take like 50 points off your IQ. If all you can say is swear words and you can't express yourself through any other means, yeah, you're not that intelligent. And maybe that's mean for me to say, and I'm not talking about you directly. Maybe that's just how you grew up learning how to speak. And if you want to get offended, and I'm subscribing from okay, go ahead. But it's the truth. It's the truth. And if you can't see that, then you're not honest about yourself. That's why I'm not a physicist. And that's why I was a truck driver and I'm my own kind of entrepreneur now, is because I didn't have those kind of skills. But thankfully I have a big enough vocabulary that I don't have to describe everything as effing this and effing that and effing you and effing, I just, like I said, when people talk like that, I'm like, you're not somebody I need to talk to. Other than that, fantastic show. Really great. I hope they keep this momentum going into the second season, because I actually have something to look forward to other than just anime. I mean, I watch anime all the time. A lot of anime. A lot. Probably more than normal. But anyway, so I just wanted to give you a quick review of this. I hope you go out there, watch it. Let me know what you think. If you've already seen this, you're like, yeah, Brian, this has been out forever. Way to get to late to the party. But I just, when I find something and it's good, I want to share that with you guys, and I want to hear what you think about it. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, or reach out, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye now.